First day of raw soups and smoothies, aside from 2 cooked nourishing miso broths, which reminds me I'm going to get the miso, and I got the nettle. This is how I keep my nettle tea. I get it from Mountain Rose Herbs or Sun Food Organic, and it's mineralizing and nourishing, and making a hot broth when you're doing raw soups and smoothies is totally legit. It's evening with Dara. I'm gonna go get the miso and I'm gonna get the garlic paste. Be right back. Oh, miso. Miso. And the ginger coming. Okay. So, what happens next? Is anybody here? So this is the ginger that I made yesterday. It's straight up fresh ginger blended with water. That's it, heated and then strained. It's extremely potent. And some of this is gonna go in this pot with water and miso and garlic. Hey, Michelle, I'm showing up earlier for you. And for everybody. And I actually am hungry tonight. I actually need to eat something. Hey, Crystal, roller girl. So we're having miso broth, miso nettle. That's the base. And so what I first do is I brew the nettle for a while. Then I'm dealing with the vegetables in a minute, and I'll tell you what's in it. So I'm going to scoop some nettle in. I will cook it, and then I will strain it. Hey, David. So I do a handful of nettle, as much as you want. I like it strong. Nettle is like a grandma energy. It's like grandma earth. You're getting ready to run the camera for Toni Braxton, and who's CR? That's so cool. Toni Braxton. What was that? What was her most famous song? If I never get to see you, na na na. Na 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 na. That's so cool. That's so cool. I wish you could stay too, but you could watch it later and you're here in spirit. Someone asked me about this star necklace. I made it. I still have the mold for it, so I could make more. So if you've never used nettle, nettle's great as a tea, but it's also great as a broth, salty, miso-y. So now we're cooking the nettle, and I pulled out the veggies that I have left. And so what I do is, this is warm soup, and the veggies won't be super cooked because I chop them really tiny, and at the end I throw them in, so they're just kind of al dente. Yeah, that is such a fun job. What, like Toni Braxton, what's she up to? She is so beautiful. Do you guys remember, what was that famous? She had a couple really big hits. All right, cooking nettle, and then we're gonna wash the broccoli, wash the zucchini, and wash the kale, because those are going in. Those are the veggie bits, and they will be almost raw. They'll be cooked, just blanched, really. So that's what we're up to. You're here in spirit, Crystal. Thank you for popping in. And what I do, there's some really important ingredients that I'm going to share. I will show you. Here it is. Okay, swishing the vegetables. I'll have to go get more tomorrow. I have dried mushrooms. I love to keep dried mushrooms in the house because these broken up and reconstituted in the soup are delicious. Unbreak my heart. Thank you. Unbreak my heart. There's another one. Oh, I gotta listen to that. Oh, she's beautiful. I mean, she has to still be beautiful. I would think nothing less. So we got mushroom situation. We have Mushroom Magic, the Mushroom Magic Spice from Cat Beauty Daily. I should read what's in it. That would be really interesting in case you want to make it yourself. I'll get my glasses, and then the dried shrooms. Then we have miso. I like chickpea miso. And then we have dulse. It's just adds iodine and minerals. and it is delicious and salty. And then we have the fresh ginger juice and obviously salt, and it's so simple. You could do ginger powder, you could do mushroom powder, you could do fresh mushrooms. I don't have any, what was I going to get? And garlic, super important. What was I getting? I totally forgot. I'm gonna need the strainer, and then I need a carafe to strain the nettle tea in. Then I rinse out the pot, and then I put the nettle tea back in. So it's a little bit of a step. The nettle tea needs to be brewed. Now, you could brew a huge pot of nettle tea and keep it in the refrigerator for 2 or 3 days, and then you could heat it up and make a sweet honey tea, or you can make a salty broth. So I recommend doing a big brew of nettle and then keeping it in the refrigerator for whatever you need. And the same thing goes with ginger, like to keep this ready to go. And if you wanted to drink this as a cold ginger lemonade, you would make sure when you're making the ginger and you're heating it, before you strain it, add honey, and then it's sweet and ready to go in the fridge. This is just straight up ginger, which is fine by me. Yes, it will be delicious. So we're going to, while the nettle is brewing, we're gonna chop some veggies, teeny tiny. You could even use it for a smoothie base. Yes, I've used it for smoothies. You use it for a raw, you could use that as a base for your raw soup. Exactly. You get it, David. Nettle is like, if you're gonna have one herbal tea, it's the mother lode, literally. The mother lode. All right, so we're gonna have some chopped up kale. I only have like 2 pieces of kale left, but that's plenty. So I will be chewing, in fact. If I wanted to, I could blend the whole thing. Be very lovely too. So I'll set aside the veggies in a bowl. Do we want it blended or do we want little bits in it? That's really a question. Do you feel like chewing or not? Or... yeah, I'm encouraging everybody to make fresh ginger, even fresh ginger turmeric juice. You could get fresh turmeric. And if you had to, you can use powdered ginger, powdered turmeric, powdered mushrooms. Do what you, oh, our light went out. I matched my knife. It's Venus Day, you're so right. And today I sent my daughter a picture of Carrie Bradshaw in one of her outfits. And then I realized after I sent it to her, I'm like, wait, I'm wearing a white tank top. She was wearing a pink sequin skirt, but it was a very similar look. So I'm channeling Carrie Bradshaw in Sex and the City. I matched my knife. I love pink. I love magenta. And I love aqua blue. I dyed some, this is like a cotton slip skirt, and I dyed it pink. And today I had dyed one a chartreuse yellow, and I felt like it was just too pale yellow, so I added blue dye and it came out turquoise, and then I did another one that's like a blue, and then I had a big Hanes t-shirt from Herbie, and it was a little bit like kind of ratty looking, the color, so I dyed it blue and his eyes were blue, so I should show you guys. If you're on Instagram, which I recommend you be, you'll see my stories and you'll see what I'm up to, and you could spread some cheer. You guys are so generous. All 9 of you I know are gonna thumbs up, and people watch you on Instagram and like half of them like it. It's like, just like it. It's no big deal. Okay, nettle's going. I'm gonna get a bowl. That's what I was getting. And I think I have part of an onion, and I think onion will be lovely in here. So it's gonna be like an onion miso soup. I know, Herbie, I miss him too. I get very emotional. Miss him. Miss Herbie. He would have loved this. If you guys wanted to go crazy, You could make wild rice and have it with this. You could have teeny little cut up potatoes and put them in the soup. I've been having a no grain, no potato, no starch, no bean thing, no gluten-free anything, and it's working for me. Is this onion tired? I feel like this onion's very tired. Tired and done. I have a fresh onion, so we're gonna put the kale in this little bowl. So we'll have everything ready to go. And we will cut up a little bit of broccoli, a teeny bit. Remember how I cut my broccoli from the top? Same way I cut the cauliflower for cauliflower popcorn. If you guys need inspo, I have that up here. Little bits. That's how you cut it, from the top and then spread it apart so you don't get all the little bits. But I'm fine with the little bits for this soup. So exciting. Yeah, let's have a moment for Herbie, who was buzzing around outside of Annie B when I got home. On my way home, on a 4, there were like oncoming traffic, 2 lanes my way, 2 lanes the other way, and a coyote ran right in front of my van. Like, I had to slam on the brakes. What I was thinking about at the time, it's trickster energy. When you see an animal, remember what you were doing at the time or thinking. And then I came home and there was a big bumblebee right by me. And then I turned around and literally like 3 feet from me were 2 javelinas, and I ran in to get the phone, but they were gone. I mean, really so very close. I found out if you take away the rat shed, which I didn't remove the shed and they're back in there, but when they didn't have a home for a couple of days, when we cleaned it out, I found out today I went to get an oil change for Vanny B, and he saw no chewing of the wires. It's a very big thing in Sedona. The rats will get into your vehicle, chew your wires in your engine. They will set up nests, set up camp, and it's bad. So I leave a fluorescent light that's on my van on outside at night because they don't like the light. But when we remove their nests, they were obviously scouting out my van as a place to live. So I will not be removing the rats from the shed until I eradicate the rats, because they will end up in my van, and that's bad. Very bad. So I'm gonna have, oh, I found one more piece, 2 more little pieces of kale. I found them. So what you can do for this soup, if you want to, you can saute the vegetables for a little bit with garlic and onions and then use that in the soup. I'm just going to put, for simplicity's sake, just going to put everything in the soup. But if you want to saute them, it will make like a beautiful medley. Now, do I need the zucchini? No, I don't. I have a lot of vegetables right here for 1 serving, but if I wanted to make 2, sometimes I'll cook the whole thing and I'll just have mostly veggies and a little liquid. I put that in a bowl, and the next day I could add water and then have a brothy soup again. You've been switching back to more raw and simple eating, and that's why you're tuning in again. That's so funny. Timing is right, because I've really been doing it for 31 days. One Darling Earth, I planted turmeric and it took 9 months to start. Now you don't want to use it. It's just too dear. I so get it. But how beautiful that you grew it. Like, that's amazing. So we'll have just a bit of the zucchini. I'll leave this for tomorrow, I think. And then we're going to chop onions. This is going to be teeny little bits of zucchini. I like to cut them fairly small. It's Venus Day. On Fridays, Venus, the planet Venus, rules Fridays. Venus Day, Vendredi in French. And it's Taurus season. Sun, Moon, Jupiter, and Uranus are all in Taurus. And I'm telling you, I'm walking around and I'm hearing of great manifestations. I was talking to someone who works at Interdependence that I like so much, and he was like, when am I finding love? And I was like, it's coming. And I went in today, and he was like, he's going on a far trip to go see about a girl, and he looks so lit up. And then another friend who has this beautiful business plan is getting help from somebody really great, and I was like, oh my God, like good things are happening to good people. And that's what I want to focus on. Like, what do we want to manifest? What do we want to manifest? This is it, you guys, because it was the Taurus new moon on the 7th or 8th, depending on where you were. And you have up till the crescent moon to really sink it in. And that's the 11th, which is, I think, tomorrow. So it's manifestation night. We're having a manifestation party. So right now, I can't write, but write down the things you desire that are already here. Not like I'm wanting, but I'm having. I'm grateful for. I feel like the nettle's going to be done soon. Yes, 31 days, right? 31 days of pretty much all raw, aside from this is my 3rd miso soup, which, like, that's fine. So I feel so good. I'm going to have a little bit of lemon. Sometimes I use vinegar in my soups. The vinegar I have is kind of sweet, so I'm looking forward to a little lemon. You got to have it a little bit bright, and you want a titch of something sweet if you need the sweet. We'll see. I don't add sweet until I see what it's like after. It's made me clear. There were some things that happened yesterday, the reading with Michelle, the tarot reading, that just like opened the floodgates of love, because I was like, where's the love? And then all of a sudden I hang up the phone with her and the love's coming in business wise, and the love came in literally. An old friend messaged me, we love you, from his family. And I was like, whoa. And then like I made a new friend, and then I ran into an old friend who gave me a place to go on Sunday. And it felt very like we opened up the energy. And there were some other things that I did, like emptying out all my emails and being badass about my finances and figuring out everything and facing everything. And I was in a little contracted, I think, energy, or like closed. And she was like, Herbie's reminding me to remember who you are. And I was like, well, I am love. So love came in. So thank you, Michelle. You guys can book her at the Life Tool School on Instagram. I really hope you've joined over there. And I really hope that you've signed up for the newsletter. Because really, in this day and age, when we don't know where we're going to go, like we don't know if we're going to get hidden from YouTube or Instagram. Like, you want to be connected in case something transpires. So this is a very, very strong nettle soup, but I'm good with that. And actually you can reboil the nettle again. So I save it in the strainer, and after I make my soup, I'll make a tea for later. I did the same thing with the ginger. Okay, so we have our nettle tea base. We're gonna put it in. I might saute the onions just a little bit. I think that will be lovely. I am love. Like, I am love. And it's true. Like, I am love. And I remember a long time ago, I was talking to a friend, Danielle, and I was like, I give up. She's like, you can't give up. You are love. Like, that's absurd. And then in the Akashic Records, my blueprint is love and relationship. So go figure out how you're like a loner almost who is love and relationship. Like, to be an introvert who is a projector in human design, I need a lot of time alone, and also need love and relationship. That's the tricky. But I think there's a way to have it. I think you can have, I need freedom to move as I need to move. I get a lot of, as an artist, I get inspiration when I'm alone. So there has to be an enormous amount of time alone, but there also has to be love. This is gorgeous. That's just, look how beautiful. Let's just appreciate the veggies. So I think the trick is having a lot of time alone, but also having your beautiful people. And I'm so lucky. When I go out in Sedona, I see very, very beautiful people. I go to Chocolate Tree go on hikes, go to Whole Foods. Like, it's a very simple life, but I really have lovely people that I commune with when I'm out and about. When you move to Sedona, there's a number of things that people tell you, but one of them is do not go out of the house unless you want to see and talk to someone, because it's very social. There's just certain places to go if you kind of eat like I do and you're of the vibe. But to be able to go yesterday to Ecstatic Dance and just dance outside, like, it's just a beautiful, there's always something going on here. It looked like a heart shape while I'm talking about love, right? Okay, so we're gonna put this at the bottom with a little water. I don't feel like using oil. Because sometimes, you guys, cooking, I'll cook a little bit of the onions with garlic. Sometimes having the cook smell is just satisfies you. I'm love. Garlic's in. I could put the veggies in and then add the broth. So I think we're good. This is beautiful. Want to remember to add the miso, which really blending the miso is a very good idea because it's nice to blend it. I like a lot of miso. Miso, cute. Little Dara. She wanted to just go play today, and she actually was able to do her doobie drawings at third person at a chocolate tree, which was like beyond lovely. The weather here is spectacular. She's gonna jump a little bit on the rebounder to fun music and brush up on tomorrow's life direction specialist training. And this is gonna be blended. I'm gonna put the salt in too. Black pepper would be nice. I do like to add a little chili, and I do like to add the ginger, but you have to be careful not to make it too spicy. This is strong. Hearts abound. Love abounds. We opened the dam. Michelle, help me. Join the Life Tool School on Instagram. It's called the Life Tool School. And Michelle and I are going to do a live talking about what we do, because we both do readings and guide people, how we take care of ourselves for the readings and what we wish for the readee to be doing as well. Vegan called Quest. OG is in the house. Dara, you look as amazing as the first time I saw you in a Dan video 13 years ago. That's incredible. See, raw food in 1 month. 1 month of raw, and I'm like doing great. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I thank you for noticing. I'm home. I came back home to myself. So I'm gonna put these veggies in to just saute around just to get a little something going. And they have moisture in them, so I don't really need oil. There's nothing wrong with a little bit of coconut oil to get it going, but I haven't been in an oil mode. In this soup, it would be lovely. I'm gonna show you. It's filled with, I could put that away. I don't wanna forget the mushrooms. I can put aside all the things that I already, we don't wanna forget the mushrooms, the dulse, the lemon. We did the onion. I actually didn't blend in this mushroom magic spice, but that's fine. And we put the ginger. We might need more. That's really sweet of you to say. And it's even better when you feel good again. Like, you don't have to go down with the clock ticking. I really felt like, ew. I looked at myself and I was like, who are you? And I know looks aren't everything, but when your face gets red and puffy, you're like, something must be going on internally. And I did not make an academic decision to do 30 days raw. It just happened. My stovetop was leaking gas. I shut the gas and I was like, all right, guess I'm blending food. I'm guessing having Purium. And then I just started doing it and I was like, I feel so good. I can't stop. And it was not academic, and I did not decide to do it, but it just happened. Many people are strategic and are like, I'm starting a cleanse on April 15th. I'm so not like that. I never have operated that way. All of a sudden, I'll be like, wow, it's time for a liver cleanse. I do, my routine is in the morning, I sunbathe and cold plunge if it's hot, if it's sunny out. Then hopefully rebound, lift a little weights, and then at night I do bath, water ritual, that's an enema, home enema, and then sauna with castor oil on my body. And if I really want to, I will biomat after I rinse off. So you have a hard time being fully raw. I do, Creative Heart. I do. I do have tips and tricks. And everybody used to say to me, how do I start? Well, you start with one thing at a time, and that's a smoothie in the morning. And when I would run into people, they would say to me, because I was a raw food influencer, they would say to me, how do I start? Just like you're saying, how do I do it? And I would say, and I literally remember at Rawvolution or different places writing on a napkin a recipe for a smoothie. Because if you do a smoothie first, the rest of your day, your palate is different. Nice big smoothie with chia seeds and greens. And I have a soups and smoothies ebook that I made as an answer to that question. So if you make just one style of raw, you learn how to do the smoothies. So you won't always have to look at the recipes, although they are tried and true and beautiful. The photographs are beautiful. But you make that smoothie, and then after a while, you're like, let me make that soup that she's talking about. And you do a smoothie in the morning and a raw soup in the afternoon, and your life is going to change. Don't worry about not eating cooked food. If you need to have cooked food at night, you have it. Have, the cooked veggies or potatoes or do your thing, but just eliminate offenders and start with the smoothie. That's how you do it until your body's like, yeah, this is the best ever. Just raw is hard. So if you're having a smoothie and juice in the morning, I guess what are you eating in the afternoon? If you have a salad, you're raw. If you have cooked, I would say being vegan doesn't necessarily mean that you're healthy or light. There's a lot of things we can eat, that the fake processed things, or there's things we can do that are not in our best interest. So you would have to tell me, and I'm doing sessions to help people be vibrant and healthy. I could hear what you're doing and tell you what to change. I think you don't have to be fully raw, but what I would do is, the 10 years that I was raw, I knew I was able to do that because not only was I having soups and smoothies and liquids only and only raw food, I would have hot tonics throughout the day. And I think that was the balance. The Chinese herbs to tonify the spleen, because sometimes we could feel too damp, like maybe intuitively you're just like, that's just too damp of a diet. But if you have the hot tonics and hot teas and hot ginger, but mostly the Chinese herbs, and that's why I made the tonics ebook, mostly to help people get off of coffee and to have a way to get delicious way to get the tonic herbs in. So I would watch the video that I did with Ramania, Rehmannia. He's a master Chinese herbalist. And, okay, the veggies feel like they need a titch of coconut oil, just a titch, if I even have it. I'll use a little MCT oil, just a titch. Because it'll be nice as the broth to have a little bit of oil, just a titch. I think for you, that's what I'm picking up on, is the tonics will help you because you have like a cool damp meal and then you have a hot tonic. He told me I was perfectly balanced, and he believed like I do, because a lot of Chinese herbalists, Chinese doctors will be like, you can't eat all raw, your spleen will be damp, that's bad. But Ramania was like, we need the raw food now to remove toxins from our body because they're everywhere. And then we use the ancient Chinese herbs, the ancient wisdom, to balance it. So we were both like high-fiving because we really both believe the same thing. All right, this is beautiful. The veggies are just not even cooked, but they're just a little warmed on the outside. I kind of went, it's like good already. If you cook your veggies just a little al dente, We're putting the soup in. Take you with me. And then we just taste it. If you wanted to, you could add cubed extra firm tofu. You could add, like I said, potatoes. You could have it with rice. You want to ease into, you don't have to like hurt yourself. I was eating all veggies, but they were like sauteed veggies, and I was having wild rice. And obviously, it didn't agree with me. Oh my God, it's insane. It's the perfect amount of spicy, but I do, just for the titch of heat, I like to add the chili flakes. And it will need one little, we're gonna add the mushrooms and the dulse. I put my dulse in a jar, but it's just like this kind of dulse that is now all compacted. You just got Hyperion herbs, all the medicinal mushrooms. Schizandra is like the best, and Gynostema, which can be strong. With Gynostema, that's like the healthiest tea you could have. Not familiar with Hyperion herbs. I know that you can order Jing herbs and get a DARA discount. Gynostema tea is the healthiest. And Schizandra is very powerful, but if you look at it like it's a superpower berry, and if you add it, you know what's a trick? Add Schizandra and then add a titch of nut butter, and you're having like a peanut butter and jelly tonic with a little coconut butter. That could be good. But Schizandra is energizing, so you don't want it at night. Everything's in except for the lemon we need. And then a couple pits got in. That always happens. I'm not lazy about anything but straining the pits. It's insane. I don't think pits are bad for you. I think we need, once in a while, we need the pits. So I'm leaving the 2 pits in. And this is my dinner, and this is appealing. Sometimes at night, you just don't want, even though my soups aren't cold, they're like room temp, you just don't want a thick green or a raw green soup. Sometimes you do want something warming. Here in Phoenix, the fruit has been awful. Yeah, it's not been great. Raw in the summer is easier, yes. Winters are cold in Michigan, and you eat warm food like I did. Maybe you don't eat as much rice as I did or whatever, but yeah, we bulk up in winter because we want to stay warm. It's natural. Have you done the Purium parasite cleanse? I'm on the 10th day. So I would do it at the same time. So I'm going to show you the box that I got from them because it just came today. Basically, you guys, the parasite cleanse from Purium, it's just little capsules, so you could eat however you're eating, and you just take a capsule a day for 10 days. You take a 20-day break, and then you do another 10 days. I did the first 10 days. Today's the last day. And this is the box. So when I went to order the Ultimate Lifestyle Transformation Package with collagen support, they were like, hey, do you want to get it, literally, like, hey, you know, the sales thing, do you want to get it monthly? And each month it goes down in price. So I think it like turns out to be like $257, and you're on like a 4 to 5 month program, and they've dialed it all in. So I'm going to see, this is my 2nd month. How appropriate it came today. Today's my, like, great timing. Today's my 31st day. So it's heavy because in here there are jars of apothecary, which I haven't talked about, but it's cherry juice, and it's insanely delicious. And it makes you calm before bed, helps you sleep. I'll show it to you. It's a little dark in here. Yes, when you start your day savory, they stay that way. It's so funny. It's true. Yeah, being vegan is, like, I would say to people, you tell me you're vegan, that's not, tell me what you eat. You know, potato chips, vegan, beer, I don't know what people are eating. They could be eating like processed fake chicken and I don't know what. Like, that doesn't mean anything. If you tell me you have a high greens, organic greens diet, now we're talking. I used to say, like, there's all different, this diet, that diet, but nobody's saying greens are bad until they started saying greens are bad, which is funny. I'm like, go away. Go away with that. Okay, Power Shake Apple Berry. There's two different kinds of two different kinds of protein powders. One is the berry protein powder, dark berry, and it is gorgeous. And then there's another one for the afternoon that's Power Shake. Okay, so these are part of what I think healed my hip. These are skin, hair, and nails capsules. I put 4 of them a day. I put them in my morning smoothie. Biomedic gets rid of glyphosate. We all need that. 1 in my smoothie. These are the amino acids that definitely helped my hip. If you just order 6 bottles of these and take 5 to 10 a day, amazing. I put 10 in my smoothie bowl. I'm crazy, but it's the most delicious smoothie bowl in the whole world, and I'm like full the rest of the day. So you get 2 packs of berry protein powder in the package. And this is not supplements. These are like meals. So whatever money you're spending on Purium is like your meal. You like the Purium? Me too. You ordered the coconut wedding cake yogurt? That's my dessert, man. So I was showing you guys last night that the date with a little nut butter, peanut butter, almond butter, or whatever butter, cashew butter, and then if you use coconut cold plain, because it's twangy and tangy, that's what I would recommend. So we get 2 of the Power Shake. This is afternoon, just mix it with a banana or some frozen fruit, and this is your afternoon. I don't even need it anymore. And here comes the apothecary. It's in a box. Sorry if it's noisy. Yeah, it's so good. Warm water, hot water at night. So it is anti-aging and sleep support. And it's sweet. It's cherries. It's delicious. You can make yourself a little cocktail of cherry with a little lemon, or put some apothecary in your smoothie, or just have this with ice and water added, and it's so very good. So I'm happy. I'm gonna lower the soup. It's done. You do coconut cold plain usually with biofruit. Ooh, wait. What do you do? Coconut cold plain with biofruit. Okay, biofruit, you guys, is a powder of all these fruits. It's the red powder that's giving you the antioxidants. And cashew fruit, oh, fruit, you must mean cashew. What's cashew fruit opener? You mean cashew butter? What's the cashew fruit opener? All right, we're gonna have a little soup. I will tell you that I do need to add just something sweet to the soup, I think. Cashew fruit powder. Do they sell cashew fruit powder? I've never even heard of that. I'm gonna put a little molasses in for iron. So you mix up the coconut cold with the biofruit and the cashew fruit powder. I'm imagining the cashew fruit powder is sweet because the biofruit's tart. So nothing sounds sweet. It sounds very tart. Okay, little molasses, and we're styling. Are you ready? I'm gonna eat just a little bit now, and then I'll have some more later if I want. I'll keep it on the stove and put it away in the fridge before I go to bed. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, so the cashew fruit powder must be creamy and sweet. So they have it. I didn't know they have that. So I'm going to be ordering. There's something that I don't have, which is they have kamut with spirulina, and it's a fiber. They have a fiber blend, which everyone I know takes that is into the Purium, and I don't have it. And then I'm going to get the spirulina. I forgot what Haley told me to get. I have to go look. I think it was the barley grass. I think she should get the barley and mix that together. My soup is so good. Right? I mean, you don't have to have raw. You could have this at night. It's off the hook, you guys. Like flat out. Now, if you wanted it creamy, you could add a little bit of coconut cream. That would be gorgeous too. Chop up some avocado and put some sprouts on top. I'm gonna do that because I have sprouts I made. So you guys want to hear something funny? Should I tell them, Michelle, where I'm going? So Michelle pulled so many amazing cards. One of them, she said so many words in her tarot reading that were like, yeah, I said that to myself this morning. She's like, you're badass, 9 of Pentacles. I'm like, I was just telling myself I'm unstoppable. And then she pulled a card, I guess it was the 6 of Wands, that there was like a woman with a Volkswagen van, and she's like, you got to get in your van. So Sunday I'm going somewhere that a friend of mine suggested, and it's kind of hilarious because I grew up in New Jersey and we were not nudists. Definitely, no one in New Jersey was nude. When I was with Patrick, he grew up in Sweden, so being nude, he would just take his clothes off and go in the ocean. Like, I was like, what if people see you? He's like, it's Sweden, we do that. So there's an RV park that's been there 40 years. It's old, with probably old people that live there. They have camping, they have little suites you can stay in. I don't know, I've never been, but my friend said to go. So I'm going. Clothing optional. But I do have to say that hot tubs or hot springs are so much better when you don't have to put on a bathing suit. So that's happening for a little adventure that was suggested by my tarot reader. You have the kamut. Oh, so Creative Heart, you are all up in it. And the spirulina, you make green milk. That's what she said. And so she said put the kamut with the barley grass and in like an almond milk or whatever. Oh, I'm gonna get the sprouts. I don't know if little Dara's gonna enjoy that, but I'm gonna do it just because I need a little getaway. Now these are raw. We don't want our sprouts cooked. These are barley. I grew them. Does anyone need to know how to grow babies? It's a badass weekend. I'm teaching tomorrow and I have a session on Sunday, but as soon as the session is done, I do life direction guidance. I will hit the road. I'm going to be all packed. You add it to your hemp milk. Yes. With maple syrup. That's so good. So tonight I'm going to order that. So here's the soup. This is heaven. Last night the past couple nights I didn't feel like having raw green soup. I was like, no. This is insane. Like if you could go out to eat and get this organic spring water, nettle miso, mushroom magic, dal soup with vegetables, I would go out to eat. But I save money because all my food, there's nothing interesting out there to me. And aside from chocolate tree, this is like, nothing's better than this. That's all I'm saying. This is so good. Are you guys gonna make this? I really need to know. You can be sure that the van, it's filled with tonic ingredients and Purium. Then all I have to do, there's frozen fruit in there. If I didn't have the freezer, I would just put, and you can do this on a car chip. You take a mini blender, one of those USB ones like the BlendJet, or the one that Purium sells, or the one you get free if you buy the package. I got a free one because I did the 4 or 5 month package. And you just have to have, for me, bananas, my Purium box with my chia seeds. I have bananas, avocados, frozen fruit or fresh fruit, and fresh fruit. And then that's what I eat. Our tarot session together was so, so beautiful. It was so good. Like, it shifted everything. I'm really grateful. Michelle has like a generous personality and she really cares. Plus, she's a channel. I don't know that I felt different, but I don't want to stop doing the biomedic because how am I going to know if glyphosate and toxins are leaving? I've pretty much been taking it all the time, and I feel like it's really important because I know that they're spraying the air and they're spraying the vegetables, even the organic ones. We're getting chemicals in our body, and this is going to help them go away. So I'm going to be on it. I can't really tell. I know that I can tell that everything combined has helped me to have no hip pain and lose weight. You're welcome, Michelle. Thank you. I'm actually so excited. You want your food to be exciting. I will tell you my smoothie bowls in the morning are exciting, and my soups are exciting too. And if it's not exciting, your body's telling you you don't need it, right? The past couple nights I was like, I just don't need food. Like, I just need a little bit of a treat. So, but it's better to nourish yourself so you don't get hungry in the middle of the night or whatever, which I did last night. You want some? So I love you guys. Is there anything else you want me to stay while I clean up, or do you guys have stuff to do? Lots of thumbs ups. And you guys always comment after. Does anybody have any questions? I'm a happy camper right now. You want to like your food. It's not about deprivation. Like, I love my smoothie bowls. I love this soup. It's super healthy and nourishing. And you could eat this in the winter. Okay, we can keep hanging. Cool. Wow. So, the Purium, I actually don't have the Power Shake open, so now, these I have plenty of, but I like to have, really what I want is a Vanny Beat to go box so that there's one in there and one here, because my goal is to have, if I'm out and about and all of a sudden I get a wild hair to just keep going, I don't want to have to go home to get the electrical cord. So I want one in the van. I want Purium there at all times so I could just keep going. The mornings that you don't have a smoothie, your whole day feels off. Exactly. Nighttime with Dara is the best, Magali. And Creative Heart. All right, cool. We'll be hanging because why not? You guys talk amongst yourselves like you did the other day, and that was so sweet. I'm going to eat the whole soup, I think. Oh, so good. My dessert is going to be these pears that I stuck in the fridge because they're like bumpy, bruisey. So I will take the stickers off, wash them, cut them, and put them in a bowl with some coconut yogurt and have that with my tea, and that will be heaven. So I'll put all the Purium over here. Or I'll have apothecary syrup on top. That sounds really good. And I do the dishes. I empty the dishwasher. I make everything nice for tomorrow. So only one bag of these. Obviously it's enough for a month, so we're cool. My ginger juice. I'm gonna put a little bit more in. Do I take herbs as well? No, after the Purium, I don't eat anything except for my Chinese herbs, which go in my tonics. I just bought some shilajit. I bought the resin today. I'm really into shilajit these because we're just not getting enough minerals. I'll tell you that. But I think 2 of the products I take have shilajit in it, but I like extra. I really want to research the products more. It makes you like even more jazzed to take them. I take them because I just feel great. But when you know what you're doing, it's setting even more intention. And if anybody wants to sell Purium, I make enough money to, it pays for my Purium actually. And if you're selling it to someone, you're getting them on the health wagon. So consider it as a side thing or the main thing. I forget to say that, but I sell it and I make money and it covers the cost of my monthly Purium. I forgot about that. I just noticed, like, I was like, yeah, so I support my habit. Hey, Jai the vegan. People are so sick from not getting enough minerals. It's crazy. So I get my shilajit from the brand Lajit, L-A-J-I-T. But natural shilajit, there's a bunch of different, as long as it's quality resin. You could have it at night, you could have it in the morning. You take a little titch of the resin. I got the resin this time, and you put it in water, and you are just, you're feeling good. Good evening. People are sick because they're walking around with clogged colons, way too much in between, way carrying. They're packing, that's so gross, but they're carrying, and it's just the truth. And in there lives parasites, so we want them out. You look into selling it because, yeah, it sounds like you should be selling it. Why don't you join my team? You should totally join my team. I have Troy Casey, who's brilliant. Barbero knows everything about everything, and every time someone joins under me, they have him as a resource. Definitely. You don't have to understand the program. I do not understand the program. You get set up once, and Barbero walks you through it, and that's it. Like, you don't have to do anything other than shout it out and post the link. Post the link to the aloe. I love the aloe digest, and that's not part of the pack, right? So there's extras. You post it on TikTok. You should totally join. You can email me, Dara@daradubinet.com, and I will answer any questions that I can. But I'm just like a spokesperson because I'm crazy about it. But there's people who know about the business. I do think you don't need an enema every day, but I noticed, and people have energetically noticed, that they're not going as easily and they're feeling bloated around here. So it helps you, and it helps move things out. If you're doing a parasite cleanse or any kind of cleanse, then I do think it's helpful every day until you don't need it. Oh, Creative Heart, that's fantastic. I love that you have a TikTok. I want to have TikTok. You could teach me how. I will totally support you in your efforts, because why not? You're doing good in the world because you're helping other people lose weight, feel great. It's great for children. And then you're making money doing something good for the world. It's very high quality. Exactly. I would never promote something that wasn't. You know that. You guys know that. Like, ever. My hip pain went away after 1 month. You do gallbladder cleanse? Oh, and Andreas Moritz, like what? Calvin, remember back in the day, I used to do his liver cleanses, not, yeah, the liver gallbladder flush. And I gave away my book or lent it, but that was genius. So I might be, since two people just asked me that, maybe it's time for me to do a liver gallbladder. Yeah. Remember he passed and nobody knew what he died from? Did we ever find out like what happened? That was so sad. It's such a genius book, you guys. I'm so glad you remembered, or you reminded me of his name, Calvin. It is super high quality. It just is legit. So, and where are we getting? It's so much cheaper, like than buying a green juice somewhere. It's just so good. You would do well on TikTok. It's a powerful platform. I know people are anti it. I'm not anti it. I just haven't been doing it. We set one up for me for the Life Tool School, and like, it's just not. These videos that Ben took, and he used I look really wide in them. I'm like, Ben, I don't look like that. Like, that's crazy. How many have I done? Back in the day, in the raw food days, I think I've done 3. But I haven't done one in years, so it might be time. Might be time. So I like to cover the onion with paper and rubber band. Coffee enemas are great. I'm allergic to coffee. It's like the #1 offender for me, so I can't do it because I'll be itchy. Apple cider vinegar. I agree with you. The coffee, if you could do coffee enemas, I used to love doing them. And then one night I did them, and the next day I was so itchy. I was itchy all night. And I called Dr. Sadeghi. I'm like, I need a copy of the food allergy test I took. 4++ on the scale. It was 4 or something. It was like major offender. And I was like, okay, there will be no coffee in my body in any way. Okay, I'll put that. Huge fan, you guys, of enemas. Do you guys need to hear how I do them? So, does anybody want to know how I do them? We could save that for another time. But I have a special way of doing them that makes it relaxing. So, wrap it up. Onion, you will not smell at my refrigerator, hopefully. Okay, so I have a silicone bag, which I like better than the buckets. And I hang it, I fill it up with hot water. And I'll never forget on this show that I watched, it was the Midwives show. It was a show about English midwives from the UK. Beautiful show. I was going to say the 40s, probably about the 40s. Anyway, it was about midwives, and they always gave the women about to give birth the enemas. And one of the women said, high, hot, and hell of a lot. I remember that. So you hang the bag high and it's going to come out faster. You do hot water, it's going to clean better. Anyway, that's just what I remember. So I hang it on the shower head. I fill the bath. I put Epsom salts in. I get in the bath. I put castor oil on the end of the inserter thing, and I'm in the bath when I fill up. I can get out of the bath to go right there to the toilet. This is like extra, but this is really good to know because you could lie on the floor, curled up on the floor, but wouldn't you rather be in the bath? So I do mine in the bath. That's why I call it a water ritual, because there's water going in me. I can go relieve myself on the toilet, and I get back in the bath and I do it again. You might not be able to hold a lot of water, but don't sweat about it, because you just keep doing it until you could hold a whole bag, and then you're pretty much done. So there's a number of repetitions. You live in a historical home and your bathrooms are small, so it's not comfortable to do the enema. Do you have a bathtub? Yeah, a few minutes is fantastic if you can hold it for a few minutes. I thought it was genius, actually. Miracle, I have no spots on my white shirt. It's a good idea. Try it. Glad I mentioned it. It's really bizarre to talk about after you just made food and whatever, but the reality is you're not going to be absorbing the nutrients you're putting in if your colon isn't cleaned out. And that's like doing it at home, water rituals at home, is like making dinner, putting the food away, wiping the counter, but you're not doing a deep clean. You're just keeping things clean on a regular basis. And then you can go for colon hydrotherapy, which is like the spring cleaning. Do them, do them, do them, do them. It's so delightful. And it's personal, and you're doing it yourself. Like, this is just straight up ginger. So good. I am like really happy right now. Hanging with you guys, eating the best foods ever that are really delicious. Remember I always said it's a luxury, not a deprivation? It's true. And if you eat the veggies and then you tell yourself you can have a hot creamy tonic after, you're great. I was bloated. And I gotta tell you, a couple friends of mine who were really clean and they were like, I'm bloated and it's just something going on right now. I don't know if it's astrologically or chemicals or who knows what, but we have to. This is the perfect time. Like, we need to eat like this and do our water rituals because something's going on energetically or chemically. Get a new Enema bag. They're only like 20 something dollars on Amazon, and I am eating the most gorgeous. Okay, we're gonna say the ingredients, and maybe Ruby Rose, when she shows up later, will list what it is. Thank you, Mr. Nice. Yeah, that's why you could be doing the soups and smoothies but still be bloated. That's why the water rituals are needed, or maybe extra. There's a product called Share. It's SHARE, and it's fermented apricots or fermented pomelos, and it helps move everything out. So back to the soup. Here's the ingredients. Hot water with dried nettle leaves in it. I brewed it for like 10-15 minutes. Then I strained it and put it into a carafe. While it was brewing, I chopped up broccoli, kale, zucchini, onions. I put fresh garlic in. I teeny bit of MCT oil, kind of al dente, stewed them, steamed them, sauteed them, just a mix on low. Then I added the nettle, the ginger, fresh ginger juice. I added dulse, and I forgot to add the mushrooms, but you could add mushrooms to it, which I would highly recommend. My spices were Mushroom Magic from Cap Beauty Daily, but I'm sure you could get ground up mushrooms on Mountain Rose Herbs and I was going to share what was in it if you guys want to know. And then, so Mushroom Magic spice, chili pepper flakes, not a lot, salt, lemon, and I added a little molasses at the end. So it was warm, it's hot, it was a little hot, and now it's not hot, but it's still delicious. Have you had parasites? Yeah, I have. Not parasites, it was mucoid plaque, but I thought it was parasites. They think you're crazy for believing in what? Parasites? Like 70 or 80% of people are walking around with parasites. It's not a joke, and it's not crazy. But what happens is, if you think it's a worm coming out of you, there's a very big chance that that's just mucoid plaque. If you've eaten cheese, if there's mucus, if your body, when you eat pasteurized dairy, creates mucus to pull it out of your body. It sees it as a toxin. It's mucoid. It's mucilaginous. It will create mucoid, worm-looking things, and that could be what's coming out. But it also could be worms. So I love how we're going back and forth from food to this, but it goes together. So you really do, if you're bloated, you could have parasites. If you're bloated, you could just be holding on to energy. If you're an energy sensitive, you're holding here. Like, you know, when we're corded to someone, the energy cords are coming out here. If you're an energy sensitive, you might be packing on just to protect yourself. Other ways to protect yourself. You don't need to gain. So I feel like it's essential to do the parasite cleanse. You could get the Purium. It's just one little packet. You take a couple one capsule in the morning, one capsule in the evening. You do your home. You can do this all yourself. This is not an expensive thing to do, and it's a necessary thing to do. You won't always see worms coming out of you. They're microscopic sometimes. Like, many of them are just microscopic, and sometimes you will, actually. So that's how I first found colon hydrotherapy. My mom was visited me in Florida. Jada was just little, like 3. And she's like, Valerie, I got a message. I messaged her friend Valerie the other day. Valerie told me to have cranberry juice with chia seeds in it. And I was like, okay. So she would dump a lot of chia seeds in cranberry and we would just eat it by the spoonful. And then all of a sudden I was going and I was like, Mom. And I saw like a squiggly thing and I freaked the F out and I went online and I'm like, what is that? I never heard of it. And so the next day I called a colon hydrotherapist. I'm like, I think I have worms. And she's like, come in. And she's like, it's not worms, it's mucoid plaque. But then she educated me on what to eat. This was way before the raw food days. And why, and she was an angel, really, in a little hole in the wall. And she educated me for the first time about what we eat and put in our bodies makes a difference. And why the heck aren't we taught that? So it's trauma, it's energy protection, weight on us. We don't need it. So I'm on my soapbox of things that are so important. How are we going to be receiving messages, even if we're not a channel or a psychic like Michelle or an intuitive guide like me? Like, you need to hear the messages to know which way to go. We want to, both Michelle and I want you to be able to navigate yourself. Like, the idea is that you feel empowered and that you are in tune with yourself, and no way better than having vitality and oxygen and blood and nutrients going to your vital intelligence centers, which are not just here, it's here and here. So the coconut cold goes with this because it's got an enormous amount of probiotics. So you clean out your gut, you add the healthy flora, you're feeling fantastic. So let's get rid of the weight. We don't need the weight. We can learn how to protect ourselves without hurting ourselves. Is that enough of a soapbox? I'm gonna do the dishes. I'm on my soapbox. Now what? Now we do the dishes, but I don't think you guys need to be with me. Your goal in a session is always to empower. Me too. Like, we liberate people. We want people to feel liberated, not like, you have to call me every time you need something. Like, what? That's just not even ethical. Like, well, I'm going to give you enough information that you won't need to call me for a year. And people call me a year and a half later, sometimes 2 years later. I did everything, and now I want what's next. Thank you. I'm such a wise guide, an inspiration to many. Yay. I mean, that's literally like what I'm here to do. That's my midheaven. That's my everything. Have you guys gone to my website? You can go to my website. You did for me what I do for others, really, Michelle. So, people need to be talking about this. Which part, Creative Heart? You can on TikTok. I'll show up with you in a live. Ryan, you forgot when you subscribed, but you're glad you did. And I haven't been active here because I've been making courses to empower people. Intro to astrogeography, to learn about what's going on in the air, what energy you're swimming in, where you're at, and where it might be better. I made North Node courses. I made North Node house placement courses, and I did the final trifecta by doing the little bite-sized life tools. The courses are little, but they give you so much information on your midheaven. Your North Node sign is who and what you need to be to balance balance out some old karma. Your North Node house placement is in what arena are you supposed to be that sign, that person. It's going to make you happy. It leads to your life's purpose and joy. And it tells you what arena. So who you're supposed to be in what area of life. And then the midheaven is literally how we see you, how we'll remember you, your legacy, how we see you, and what you need to do to feel fulfilled. So I did that. And now I feel like I completed that part of my mission. So I get to be back here doing the food stuff. But I took a hiatus to do this work that would help empower many. It's kind of like me teaching you how to do the raw food thing or the food thing, because I can't feed you and I can't do a session for everyone. So that's always been my mission, is to inspire and to teach so that you can do it yourselves. It's so DIY. So creative heart, we need to talk about what? The emptying our colon? Getting the good nutrients in, but you got to have that cilia be able to grab the goodies and bring it in. Pink technique. Dara, I'm here. Yes, I figured it wasn't nut. I'm glad I did, but I'm glad you did. I'm glad you did too, Ryan. We are here, and so I get to be back. There is going to be more courses and life tools, as I call them, because they are life tools. Tools that you can use. They're not courses that you just sit there and go, how do I integrate this? They're life tools. They're actionable. I'm nothing if not efficient in what I find is useful, efficient in describing it, and they are all actionable. Like what color to wear, what to tell yourself, what to do, what not to do. You're on a Neptune line, but your Neptune is in Scorpio. You're not drowning. Scorpios know how to handle themselves anywhere. You're on a Neptune line, but your Neptune is in Scorpio. That's interesting. It's even more mysterious and magical, really, than I already know you to be. Yeah, health in general, colon. So are you talking about that creative heart on TikTok? What's your TikTok? We should all be following each other. Anyway, email me and let me know. I want to look it up, and if I can contribute to the wellness of others, I'm happy to do so. People are so sick, not to be negative, but it's not negative. People are sick. Joe, what's his name? I interviewed him on my YouTube channel, Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead. There are fat, sick, and nearly dead. They're puffy and pasty and bloated and constipated and medicated and sleeping. That's just, they are. The majority of people are not in living color. And that's what we want to do, is get them to first take care of themselves, as within, so without, their body, then their home, and then they can go life direction, or all at the same time. But there's beautiful people out there that just don't know, or don't know what to do, and they don't know how easy it is. It's not negative. It's so true. It's just so true. And you walk by restaurants and you see what they're drinking and eating, and you're like, okay, maybe if that's once in a while, but you can tell when it's every day. The lymphatic issues. What do you see with lymphatic issues? That's just holding toxins. I have a beautiful woman in my life direction specialist training who does lymphatic massage, and she's going to be using the trifecta to help people when they're releasing. They can tell her what's going on, and she can also guide them with their trifecta. Everyone's puffy. They're puffy. They're puffy. I was puffy. That's why rebounding or jumping up and down and getting lymphatic massage and lymphatic drainage. But these things, I know there's a couple products in my Purium magic smoothie bowls that help move the lymph. I forget what they are. Creative Heart might know, but I'm going to be studying, and I will look at everything that I'm taking. But yeah, they're puffy. They're puffy. They're pasty and puffy. And it's not hard to get it not that way. I do the big 6 by Stop Chasing Pain. Dr. Perry, it's been life-changing for you. You do the big 6. What does that mean? What does that mean? But I want to look at, can you email me all this good stuff, and then I could share it with everybody too. All right, I'm going to get off my soapbox. Almost all of you did thumbs ups, thumbie uppies. Thank you. I did this on Instagram and hearts started coming out. It was wild. You do gua sha. I do gua sha all over my body. I dry brush. I do castor oil and gua sha. The lymph, I do it under here. It's good to get rid of loose skin and to move your lymph. You know, you got to move your lymph. Gua sha, excellent. I have a cool, I'll do a video where I show the places I do my routines, and there's a tool that I use that's fantastic. Oh, it's a specific massage. That's cool. It would be cool to share with you to show us how to do it. I look so much better. See, thank you. Like, it's crazy. Like, I was just feeling like so weird. I was like, this is so weird. And I'm living proof that you don't have to go down the slope just saying, oh, it's because I'm 57. It's because, no. Hey, Lon. Hey, Lon. I'm going to do more of those outside paintings. You guys are awesome. We can learn from each other. We can share with each other. Lon, do you know clowns are scary? I was like, I used to see it and I was like, who's that with the clown? But yes, Lon has been an OG. Tan, glowing, hot bod. Gorgeous, seriously. Thank you for all the love. I love compliments. I think my love language is either acts of service or words of affirmation, and it might be words of affirmation reigns higher. So I've been doing, I skip some nights when I'm just like not in the mood, but mostly while I'm doing this parasite cleanse, you want to like help everything leave. So I use Iris Herbals. It's wool. So I do the castor oil. I use the Heritage Store. So I want to do a video for you guys about the different, and I'll pull out my different materials. But basically castor oil from the Heritage Store. You want organic for sure, in an amber bottle, no plastic, glass bottle. Anyway, I put it on. I buy a big bottle because I don't want to be stingy with it. I put it all over. Then I put the wool fabric. Then she has this cotton pack and I can tie it around and walk around or lie on the biomat and cover myself with a blanket. You can lie in bed and use a heating pad. You want the packs because it's sticky and it's staining. So if you got into bed, it's going to stain the sheet. So you want to have the pack, put a heat pack on for an hour and everything will move. So I definitely every night do castor oil on my hands, on my feet, on my neck, on my under here, and my eyebrows. It will grow your eyebrow hair. It supposedly will get rid of fibroids. It will cleanse your liver. Talk about a liver cleanse. And cleanse your intestines. So we need help. And when you start, look, detoxifying your colon and your intestines isn't an overnight thing. You just need to keep helping it. They're squiggly. It's gotta so castor oil every night and the water ritual every night is really good. Don't worry, I read typos very well. You've noticed the lymph nodes right under your jaw get inflamed lately. I guess that's something you should address and learn more about. The gua sha, you go up and then down. There's so many things we can do for ourselves. And giving love and attention to our bodies is, who's paid attention to their feet? But rubbing castor oil on your feet and massaging them is it's just a do-good. People are getting rid of the plantar fasciitis. Is that the word? It helps your feet. So learn how to do the massages. It looks like Create the Love knows what, Create the Love, Create Heart knows what to do. Try the Big Six. It's on the channel, Stop Chasing Pain. Okay, the channel is Stop Chasing Pain. Let's all do that and report back. Yeah, she's been is she? I don't know your name. Do I know you from Instagram? Do we know? Anyway, but Creative Heart has been so helpful. That's the stuff right now that we need to share with each other. It helps with fibroids. You don't have to get surgery.